Now, there's a little disagreement between Uganda and Kenya over a fuel importation system called government-to-government system, where Uganda is making costly interest payments to Gulf suppliers. This has over time forced Uganda to pen a deal with another supplier called Vetto, who will be selling fuel directly to the Uganda National Oil Company as opposed to buying from a middleman, a very important neighbor, Kenya. So to make us understand this is Solomon Moita from the Ministry of Energy. Solomon, are you online? Yes, good evening, Solomon.
Yes, I'm online. Good evening to you.
Talk to me. I used to know the open tender system where the Uganda government, or Uganda in particular, would get fuel from Kenya and then pay. But now then there was another system which came into place called government to government, I think, which has been operating of recent, and other developments really. To partly explain what happened in that meeting I had of, where there's a disagreement on the systems to use this time. What exactly is the disagreement here?
Well, Uganda, you remember, just to remind Ugandans, we are a net importer of all petroleum products, and 90% of our products come through Kenya, and about 10% come through Tanzania. But Tanzania is a bit of a longer route, so you incur a little more on transportation than Kenya. So we've been relying more on the Kenyan side. For many years, almost a decade plus, we've been using the open tender system where all East African countries would come together, each one would declare how much volumes they require in a month. And on a monthly basis, we would find a supplier who would give us the lowest possible prices for the fuel products, and each country would pick what it books and imports it into their economies. Recently, Kenya altered that system. That system was largely working for us, but Kenya decided to alter that system from around April, when Kenya, first of all, introduced a policy to the effect that 60% of the fuel that was coming through Kenya had to be supplied within Kenya. And then the remainder is what the rest of us, the countries that were purchasing through Kenya, would take. That was a bit unfair because we could no longer guarantee security of supply, because it meant that whatever we ordered, we could not get. And that wasn't so good for us. But also there's the Kenyan multi-layered system where you have to go through Kenyan companies to access the fuel coming to Uganda. Of course, the companies would introduce some other costs that make the fuel coming to Uganda more costly than you would, than someone picking it directly from the supplier. As if that is not enough, Kenya also introduced a new system called government to government, where they are picking fuel on credit from Saudi Arabia or United Arab Emirates. That system is different from the system we were used to as Uganda, and still it comes with the same challenges. We cannot guarantee supply, and we cannot manage the costs. The systems make the cost of fuel more costly, which results into a higher pump price for a customer in Uganda. That's why the government of Uganda has decided to try a different system where we can use our own company, the Uganda National Oil Company, to start sourcing and supplying. Then we can find the supplier who can give us the fuel at the lowest possible price, and then sell it to our oil marketing companies, and at a price that we are sure will be favorable for our consumers here in Uganda.
That's fantastic, Solomon. Thank you very much. I hope you can still hear me. And as we go away right now, I know that there's a contract must have been signed. You must have penned a contract there. How long is the contract? And what are we likely to see in as far as the volumes are concerned?
We, got a partner. It's called Vetto Bahrain EC. This company is a global company. It has operations in almost all continents. It is not new to East Africa. They have operations in Kenya, at Mombasa. They have infrastructure in Tanzania. This company has promised, we started a relationship with this company in 2021. Recently, they signed 5-year contracts. Our Ugandan company is supposed to cooperate with Vetto Bahrain. They'll be bringing in the fuel, and then could be selling this fuel to the companies licensed by Uganda. They promised to establish buffer stocks in Uganda and Tanzania, and they will help us. The company has the capacity, and they are going to help us develop the storage facilities at Namwabula. You remember we purchased land as government. We want to set up a terminal, a 320 million litre terminal at Namwabula. And in addition to their own terminals, storage terminals, they will help us develop ours, in addition to one we have in Jinja, the 30 million litre terminal. So the relationship we are looking forward, it will be a good relationship. What we are waiting to have in place is a legal framework to enable this kind of policy shift happen in Uganda. And then come January 2024, we expect the volumes to start coming in from supplied by UNOC, and relatively affordable pump prices to the Ugandan consumers.
Thank you very much. And I hope our relationship with our best friend and key trading partner and our gateway Mombasa, Kenya is going to stay, is still very healthy at least.
Uganda maintains dialogue with Kenya. We need each other. We are neighbors, and we've been good neighbors for the longest time. We still need the infrastructure of Kenya because we are landlocked. We still need to access the product from Mombasa. So the relationship is there. We still have to rely on there. There is a pipeline company, Kenya Pipeline Company, that brings the fuel closer to the Ugandan borders. We shall use them, and we shall continue dialoguing with Kenya for a number of reasons. We need seamless implementation of our policy, but we also need to ensure regional stability and economic growth in this area.
So now that the discussions with Vetto are on, until Vetto comes in place, there's that disagreement. What will happen? Won't that affect our current arrangements with Kenya, whereby we really still need them and we still need to import fuel into Uganda? Does that mean that the cost will stay up?
We are still relying on the system that is prevailing in Kenya. We shall purchase from Kenya and bring it here, and we shall also pick the products from Tanzania. We have 3 routes that are actively open. The Kenyan route by road is open, the Tanzanian route by road, but we also have a batch over Lake Victoria. So all the 3 supply routes are working, and we shall use the system that is there until the legal framework is in place, and we hope to roll out the new policy starting January 2020.
Thank you very much, Solomon Mwita from the Ministry of Energy. We are glad to have you. Thank you. And we'll be coming back to you for more updates. Yes. So that's Solomon from the Ministry of Energy on the current impasse between Uganda and Kenya on that fuel business.